call these three little girls my miracle babies. And speaking of miracles and miracle babies, I want to share one last story of a baby that I believe is a miracle baby. I was 35 when I was expecting my fourth child. When I went to the doctor here to have some tests done, the typical tests done, one of the tests came back abnormal. So the doctor called me in and had a talk with me and said, this test here that we have shows that your baby has a very high chance of being born with a severe birth defect and could have serious deformities. And he urged me, because of my age, to go ahead and have an abortion. I told him, no matter what, I would not terminate this pregnancy. Once I got home, I was very troubled by his report, and once I got home, I got on the phone and called my husband, who was down in Seattle at that time, seeing to a seine boat that we were having built. So we prayed together over the phone, and we both felt impressed that all is well. What an incredible peace. I felt total peace. 6 weeks later, I did go back into the doctors for those same tests and had them done again. And the test came out showing that she was perfectly normal. I didn't know it was a she. But the test came out that this baby would be totally normal. Actually, I was looking forward for the summer and being out on our new seine boat, because I had been seining every year since 1978. I had only taken 1 year off when Shira was born, and now here it was 1987. Little did I know that this pregnancy and this baby were in for a very exciting summer. I was about 5 months along and able to do all the deck work and things that I'd always done before. During one of the sets, as we were out fishing one day, I was walking across the empty deck, and I slipped on this jellyfish that was clear colored. And I just slipped and just fell flat on my back and hit the back of my head. And I just laid there for just a few moments. I just laid there thinking, what's going to happen? And finally, one of the crew, everybody just stopped and they came over and helped me get up. Again, I had this peace that all was well. A couple weeks later, we were at Lone Tree Point next to Elrington Island in Prince William Sound. I was walking along the side of our boat. The area we were fishing in had a steady ocean swell, so that a wave came in. It was just a very kind of a rough place to fish. Well, the wave came in as I was walking alongside the boat. The guys were pursing up the purse seine. Somebody was plunging. They were running the hydraulics, and I had gone to do something on the bow. I was walking alongside the boat, and as I did, I lost my balance, and I went to reach on top of the cabin for a cleat that was normally there. Well, this was a different boat than my old boat, and the cleat that was normally there was not in that same spot. So I grabbed it, nothing, and I actually just fell backwards, head first, into the ocean. I had all my rain gear, my boots, rain pants, everything on, gloves and everything. I was so shocked. I thought as I fell into the water, wow, how green is the water? It's such a pretty color. It's so green. And anyways, my mouth was open, and so I was going to holler. I didn't even have time to holler. It happened so quickly. And so I drank a lot of seawater on top of that. As I came back up, sputtering and coughing, there was my husband and our faithful crewman Leroy standing there on the side of the boat, and they had their hands out to grab my hands. Well, here they are grabbing my hands, and they reached out. Let me see, I've got my wrong page here. As they grabbed my hands and they reached out to pull me up, I was very heavy, and the angle that they were pulling me in was kind of hard on my arms. But they grabbed my arms. I felt that my arms would surely be an inch longer by the time I got back on deck, because they grabbed them. But with each pull on me, grabbing me up, my belly was smashing into the side of the boat. After 5 minutes of this, they finally got me back on board, and I didn't know whether to laugh or cry, so I did both. This baby was certainly being watched over, and this was a rough time. Maybe I didn't belong on the boat. A couple weeks after that, after a hard day of fishing, my husband decided was late at night. He was up in the top house driving. I was below in the stateroom reading, and our crewman and our 3 children were actually asleep up in the bow of the boat. We were going full speed ahead, and anyways, about 30 minutes later, we suddenly hit the beach of Olsen Island. My husband had fallen asleep at the wheel. We were all rushed out on deck to see what we had hit, and we were all speechless as we looked to our left and to our right, and all we saw were huge boulders and huge rocks. There's really not too many beaches on Olsen Island, and it was such a miracle. As we stood there, we were totally in awe. I knew that someone surely loved us and was watching over us and steering that boat while my husband had a cat nap. The strange thing also was that there was actually no wind. It was a very nice evening, very flat, calm. But in front of the boat on each side, there were some tall trees up on the rocks. And I could hear the leaves of the trees were just wildly waving. They were making quite a noise. It was almost like somebody was standing there shaking the trees, and the leaves were just wild. And it was pretty awesome. A very reverential awe came over us. How thankful we were. You know, it took us about 20 to 30 minutes with the jitney pulling on us and with the boat in reverse going full speed just to get us out of that beach. We have been going so quickly. I am so thankful. There's so many times when the Lord's watched over us. Well, the rest of the summer went pretty smooth, and then our lovely daughter Crystal was born in early December. She was very